This video off with a personal story. Way back in 2008, during the great financial crisis, I watched my father not sleep for almost 6 months straight. I lived in the basement at the time, and I could hear him walking around virtually every hour of the night. Why? Because my family was in financial turmoil. We almost lost our house. How did we get into this mess to begin with? Excessive debt being used to buy commercial real estate. And these ideas came from a single book that my father read. And that was Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
So I flunked out of high school twice. I flunked out when I was 15, and I flunked out when I was 17.
And what I was taught was that if you wanted to be rich, it took skills, not a college education, but skills. And the number one skill, not number one, but one of the top skills, is how to use debt as money.
Yo, the Rich Dad, Poor Dad, man, there's something about him I just don't like. I mean, there's a lot about him that I just don't like. I mean, didn't he say a tweet recently or a year or two ago talking about to invest in cans of tuna? I mean, this guy says the most absurd stuff, and people just listen to him. Now, I read The Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and I wasn't indoctrinated with all that crap that he was saying about debt, because I understand in some information I get, I might not like everything from it, but there's certain things that I could extrapolate from it, right? And the key message that I got from a lot of his sayings, and to be honest with you, he didn't even write that book from what I heard. I heard Rich Dad, Poor Dad was from someone else. So I'm just gonna say he wrote it. What I got from that book was simply the fact of you just cannot think the same way, society thinks, right? That's the way I think of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Rich Dad is the one that does things differently from what a society is telling them to do, being bold, taking risks, being courageous. And the Poor Dad is just a person who just follows the same path that everyone follows, right? Graduate high school, go to college, buy a house, get a car, debt. So that's the way I was able to read the book and gain some, get excited about investing and whatnot. But the dark side with the debt and just using debt to get wealth, that does work, right? But there's a double-edged sword when it comes to using debt. First of all, it's heavy leverage, especially putting nothing in there. It's heavy leverage. And I understand some people build their fortune on using debt, but they were really smart and they calculated their moves, and they had perfect timing. They didn't do this strategically. It just so happened they had perfect timing in order to invest like in real estate, with nothing down and build his wealth. But there's a lot of horror stories out there with people that did not work for, right? Prime example, everyone loves Dave Ramsey. He openly admits it. Yeah, he was over his head. The reason why he's doing what he's doing now is because he recognized that the things that people were saying was just trash. He didn't say Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I know he didn't. He didn't say Robert's name, but I know that's the type of person he's talking about. He's explaining how people just pitched this no cash down, and then that's what he was doing. He was building his real estate portfolio, but having a lot of debt. And when they called in the notes, he didn't have it. That wiped him out, and it scared the hell out of him. Now, luckily, he was able to rebound, but there's so many people that listen to this nonsense, and it's not only him. It's also on TikTok. That's so toxic. It's just amazing, and people actually believe in it. That's why people are always falling into scams, because people are just financially struggling, and when they see something like that, they want to provide for their family, or they just want to just get out of work on 9 to 5 and just be rich. And they think there's shortcuts, but there's levels to this, man. There truly is level to this. Like using debt when you have money, a lot of capital, is a whole different ball game. Rich people play this game completely different. But when you're broke, and you're trying to get by, that's a very dangerous game that people are playing. You got to make sure you're doing your research and you know exactly what you're doing. And that's, in his situation, it sucks because a lot of people grew up in households like that, because the father's just trying to help, just trying to do the best he can for his family. And then once, you recognize, wait, I'm way over my head. I got all this debt. I'm screwed. That's a horrible situation.
My dad is a fighter and the hardest working person I know. I was a junior in high school at the time. I remember him sitting me down and telling me that he was ready to get a 4th job. Yes, he already had 3 jobs to pay for me to go through college. So why am I making this video now? Because I'm seeing Mr. Kiyosaki's advice pop up time and time again on my various social media platforms.
The reason I am so rich is because I'm in debt.
And I've had viewers in our comments section talk about his material. And I believe that the information he is spreading is toxic.
It's extremely toxic. I remember I saw that video too. He was like, I'm in debt. I'm in debt. He's just bragging about how much debt he's in. He's saying if you don't pay, it's the bank's responsibility, whatever. I don't believe this man makes any money at all. I mean, yeah, he has the properties, right? But I feel like the way he got it, I don't know if it's true or not, right? Do we think he is truly like rich like that? He has to like, is he? I mean, right? Because if you're that rich, why are you wasting all your time on social media speaking all this nonsense continuously? It's not even educational anymore. It's like comical. Like he's not teaching people how to get rich. He's just bragging about how he got rich. And he's not really teaching anyone anything. He's just calling everyone stupid. If you go to college, you're stupid. If you do this, you're stupid. If you have 9 to 5, you're stupid. Everything he says is you're stupid, you're stupid, you're stupid. It's like, okay, then what's the solution here? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing to help us out? Like, all you're doing is just talking nonsense on social media. So I feel him calling him out because I'm not all about just going out there calling people out, but I feel though like the spotlight has to be on that guy, letting people know he's a con artist. And there's a lot of people, there's a lot of other people on social media who the same way because they recognize people are desperate right now and they just need to get some type of motivation and just try something because they're vulnerable. And I really hate seeing that. Listen, building wealth, man, comes from the basics. Investing in the stock market is by far one of the easiest, simplest ways. Unless you're in real estate, you know what you're doing, then do real estate. But investing in the stock market is a way to get rich. I don't have to tell you, man. S&P 500, get an index fund, open up a Vanguard account. VOO, VOO is the stock ticker. Invest. That's it. You don't need to do no crazy gimmicks. No, just invest nice and easy and take time, right? It's not timing the market, it's time in the market. And so many people need to recognize that. But unfortunately, so many people are going to fall into the trap, this whole rich dad Robert nonsense that he's talking, and they're going to end up broke. Guys, drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think. How do you feel about him? Did you read the book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad? Drop a comment down below because I would love to know. At the same time, hit the like, leave a comment, and subscribe. Catch you guys in my next video. Peace.